My message is a laborer's six-pack. And you might be sitting there going, okay, what the heck are you talking about? A laborer's six-pack. Well, growing up during my competitive athletic days, our coaches always liked us to have construction jobs during the summer because, especially for football, it kept us in shape. So once you came back in the fall, you had been in pretty good shape because you've been working out all summer. And so they always encouraged us to get laborers' jobs. And once I was old enough, I grew up back in the Midwest, and you'd work hard all day, and then so after work, we'd all sit around and share a six-pack. And to me, it's kind of the same thing. We're all a bunch of laborers for Jesus here, and we're gathered tonight, and I want to share with you what is a spiritual six-pack. My spiritual journey really began when I was a sophomore in high school, quarterback job. And the varsity football coach was also the Fellowship of Christian Athletes huddle leader. And so I got to know Vance Morris very well, and it was really kind of the birth of my spiritual life and my athletic dreams. It's a Friday night in February. It just signed my letter of intent to play football and baseball at the University of Missouri, and I'm just running down the floor in a high school basketball game, catch it, and then I was going to lay it in. Well, a guy on the other team was running across the floor, and as soon as I lunged like this to catch it, he lunged to knock it away. He missed the ball, poked me in the eye. I had fractured my skull, suffered a severe concussion, broke all the bones in my middle ear that control your equilibrium and depth perception, so I couldn't judge fly balls anymore. When I went down to my entire upper left side. I tore up all the rotator cuff muscles in my left shoulder. I'm left-handed. I couldn't throw anymore. And I'm deaf in my left ear from bam, hit the floor. So my athletic career was over from this freak bolt. So I go off to the University of Missouri. They honored my scholarship. I'm very grateful for that. But I was lost. You know, I was an athlete, and suddenly I couldn't play. But I get out of school 4 years later with a political science degree. All my buddies were going into sales, and so people had said, McIntosh, you can sell ice to the Eskimos. So I went into sales. I took a job back in Kansas City, but I was still really searching for my life. And I went to work for Frito-Lay, but it also put me within 60 miles of Vance Morris, who was still an assistant coach at Austin College in Sherman, Texas. And you know, he was kind of my spiritual anchor. And so on the first days that I was in Dallas, we got together, we had dinner, and we wrapped up dinner, had a great time. And he jumps out of the car, flops open the trunk, and he's rummaging around in a duffel bag. And then all of a sudden he goes, "Here, I want you to have this." And it was this torn and tattered Fellowship of Christian Athletes Bible that he used to use when he led our huddle group back when I was a sophomore in high school. And here I am, I'm 23 years old. I know nobody in Dallas. I'm working from 4 a.m. to 1 p.m. So I just decided that I was going to read the Bible from front cover to back like it was a book. And I discovered what an incredible book of wisdom it was. And there were 3 scriptures that jumped out at me for that first reading when I was 23 years old, and I read the Bible from front cover to back. And there were 3 scriptures that jumped out initially. We're going to work our way toward a spiritual six-pack here. But the first 3, I called them for a long time the terrific trio. And the first one is this, guys. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not harm you, to give you hope and a future. And it really helped me begin to accept that I wasn't the athlete that I thought I was going to be, that God had a bigger plan for me. And it began to give me hope for the future. But we've always got something going on. I want you to remember that. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper and not harm you, to give you hope and a future. Guys, I think it speaks to having unwavering faith. Unwavering faith in God. All those. The second scripture that really popped out at me that first time I read through the Bible as a 23-year-old down in Dallas, Texas, was Galatians 6:9. Never grow weary of doing good, for at the proper time you'll reap the harvest if you just don't give up. It just kind of validated my spirit. I'm saying, okay, Mac, you've been through some tough times, but God has a plan for you, and keep being the person you are, because I was really questioning who I was. But the third of the six-pack, the final one that I got from that first time reading through the Bible, Colossians 3:13. Be gentle and forgiving. Never hold a grudge. Remember, the Lord forgave you. You must forgive others. You ever beat yourself up for anything? You ever just kind of drag all that stuff around with you? Be gentle and forgiving. Never hold a grudge. We got to let go of the past in terms of how we feel about ourselves, but certainly how we feel about others. 1 Corinthians 14:8. If the trumpet does not sound a clear call, who shall prepare for battle? Well, guys, we're the trumpets. Are we sounding a clear call? Because if we're not, how in the world can we expect anybody to prepare for battle with us? We've got to sound a clear call. Within this group, in our homes, in our workplaces, or wherever we roam. The fifth one is this. 1 Peter 3:15. It says, in my heart I'll always honor Christ as holy. And I'm ready to answer questions from anybody who asks why such hope lies within. But I do it with gentleness and respect. I think we're doing too much talking these days, and we got to go out and show people. I grew up in Missouri, the show me state. I was always told that our actions will speak far louder than our words. We got to take action. As men, we're built to take action. Our actions will speak far louder than our words. The sixth and final swig of the spiritual six-pack is if we do those five and we have the Spirit about us. You guys know that. You can just, when you meet somebody, you can tell that they've got the Spirit of Jesus inside. Galatians 5:22-23 talks about the fruits of the Spirit. They're very good. The fruits of the Spirit: love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law. That's my spiritual six-pack. We're all unique. That doesn't have to be your spiritual six-pack. But can you imagine that? If we could work hard, be unwavering in our faith, practice good works, have a forgiving heart, sound the clear call when it comes to leadership, have our actions speak louder than our words, it creates a spirit about us that is focused on love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Against such things there is no law.